Okay, so this is Salma Musa, and Salma Musa is ex founder of Startups Club. Fantastic person, and I know her since many years. An amazing mentor, and so privileged to have her here as a mentor, co-mentor here on this call. Yes, Salma, you're saying something.
Yeah. Just to add in there, the present Salma here today is absolutely growth mentor and also deep technology commercializing expert. So I come into not AI and ML. It's not that I shy away, but I think there is very few who are adding value to hardcore hardware technologies, patent, IP commercialization. So I've added that into the portfolio. So what I was saying is to everyone here, right? Putting challenges up there should be like a clock ticking. You should immediately put the challenges giving a chance like that, because I was in that place long time ago where I would say, okay, putting challenges out there in front of people, we would look like lesser leaders. But actually it's the ulta. When a leader comes up and says, hey, I have this challenge, you're actually becoming a stronger leader who's commanding people to look at them as humans. And when you are seen as humans who are weak, who have challenges, people start coming after you. They believe in you. They start working with you. They want to collaborate with you. So that's the reason if you see the moment Kashyap said post challenges, I was the first one to post that because I am a leader with my weaknesses. I want my weaknesses to be covered by you guys. So, request all of you to keep aside the layers of, you know, the belief that we have as leaders have to be perfect and shoot as silly, as, small, as big a challenge you have. I think Kashyap is giving us, this platform is giving us a huge opportunity. Make the best use of it, guys.
Yes. So the question is, how do founders unclutter their own calendars to build a scaling business? I think it's a fantastic question. Can you give us some little bit more context, Salma, so that we can actually talk about?
Yes. So, as I've worked with many entrepreneurs, Kashyap, and even my own, right? When I was building my previous venture and everything, the first thing what happens is as we start getting clients, we ourselves are so attached to our businesses that we start onboarding many things that actually we don't need to do for ourselves. Very soon, if I go back to my Facebook post of 2012, 2013, right? I've shared posts like I start work, I reach office at 7:30, and I finish and log off as a founder. I'm the last one to step out. And then when we turn back and see, we as founders, we should be doing bigger things. As you said, right? Looking at larger visions, collaborating, expanding, networking, being in groups like these HNI networks and all that. Rather, we are sitting and solving smaller problems in the office, hustling around, and then you look at your calendar and you say, "Yeah, time kahan chala gaya? What happened to my time?" Right? So, one of the biggest bottleneck in scaling businesses is the founder's time itself. They don't have the time. They are caught between small issues, silly issues. So, how do we unclutter that? Is the question which I would like to put it out in the platform.
Sure. So last week I met the founder of Beehive. He was just
Yeah.
sitting across me, and we're talking on this as well. And Beehive is a company which has scaled to 32,000 seats right now, and
Yeah.
they are facing a challenge. We all are looking for growth. Now there are challenges
Mm.
which comes with growth as well.
Yeah.
So before we really grow, it all starting from creating basic structures and having a future in mind, Salma, right?
Correct.
The thing that is working for us at the 10 Crore Club,
Mm.
which I'm
Mm.
really proud about as a young organization, which I'm really proud about, is
Mm.
that I'm no longer doing anything in my sales. Not I'm doing nothing. I mean, especially for
Correct.
this meetup,
Yeah.
doing nothing, and my team is taking care of everything, and I'm so proud of them because of the systems we have created. Number one, systems we
Correct.
have created, and it is about the founders. You talked about the attachment aspect, isn't it, Salma?
Yeah.
And a lot of times founders are the biggest bottlenecks in the
Yeah.
business. And there is this lot of this ego thing that comes that, oh, I am the best person for this job and nobody else can do better than me. And if someone makes a mistake, you're the first person to jump and take over the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is the biggest challenge, because what also is a problem is founders are so lonely that they cannot imagine life without work.
Correct.
And that means they will do everything possible to involve themselves into those things which they need not involve into. And that creates a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
So to I think for one, is to first of all identify what all. I think it starts with that book from whatever his name, right? He will be visited, the one who wrote it, right? He talks about, in the beginning, you must create an organization chart where you are at every level, you are doing everything possible. And then you start creating job, you sign a contract, job contract, job contract, job contract, and you sign off, sign off, sign off. And why that discipline is important is to recognize and realize that there will be a day when someone else will do this job. So you must have that department wise discipline in the business. Even if you are a startup or without doing any money, you must have that
Yeah.
discipline. That is the step number one. And second step is starting to really write down everything that is happening in the business. Like everything you do must be recorded. It must be
Correct.
a video, it must be an SOP, you record it and keep it aside. And the second aspect of it is training people on that. You have recorded it and then you train people to do it, and you do it again and again and again. The
Correct.
third aspect of it is hiring, 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 hiring.
Yeah.
Hiring is the secret to growth. Any big empire has only grown, be it in business or in the world of politics. Only big empire has become big, not because of a king or a single person, it has been because of people. You must have that good skill of hiring and recognizing the right people to operate the right things, because empires also collapse because of people inside also.
Correct.
So these are the aspects, Salma, and that creates that space for the founder. And you must realize, I think the plan that we talk in the community is we focus on exit. We want people to exit. There are two types of exits. One is exiting the role, that are no longer doing your execution work. That is the first level of exit. The second level of exit we stress on inside the community is exiting your equity or a sale of the business. Now, the
Correct.
earlier you can recognize the end goal, because a lot of people are not clear about the end goal. They're saying, okay, I'm going to retire. We have been wrongly programmed. You have seen our parents retire at 58, 60, that the government jobs. That doesn't exist. You must plan for an exit, because once you have clarity about your exit, if you're looking to raise equity, also investors will get clarity about why and when you will get exit. So
Correct.
that this complete, what all I've shared is a complete package which actually creates time for the entrepreneur. And you must have your time shields. I am not meeting people. I don't meet people just like that. The first appointment is always online. And if I
Yeah.
have to meet people, it is only to take their money. That's it.
Yeah.
And these aspects creates space for me. The time shield I have created. I don't let people come and disturb my time.
Thank you so much, Kashyap.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else who want to add on this point? How do founders unclutter their own calendars to build a scaling business? Anyone else want to add any points that I might have missed? Yeah, go ahead, Mesh.
Actually, we have been trying to hire a lot of people, like, experience also we had, like we had, freshers. In some cases, the freshers are doing the very good job, and these experienced persons, what I experienced with them, like they're coming up with a lot of excuses. Like they know how to, give the perfect, excuse for that position, if the now whatever the task we have given. Okay, but the challenge what I'm facing, since we are in early stage and we don't have that much money to, to do the experiment like the big organization will do. The like we will have like 1 to 2 months, 3 months, the we can try on them, like, whether they will fit to our organization or not, that kind of things. Since we are in a too early stage. Okay, but whenever I'm giving chance, like, 3 months and all, but they are not even bringing the sales, they are not achieving their basic targets and all. Everything is set and it's already told in the day one, but I don't know like how to fix these things.
So when they join, they say, yeah, I will do.
Yes, everything they will, they will show in the problem in the hiring, whatever the companies they are coming in now, like they are very big firms, and also they will show like I created these many sales. Normally we will face the lot of things in the sales only. So I'm taking that example only. In recruiting part also it will happen. Then they will say like I did this much, that much, and all. When they come to our the company, in that case they don't show that much productivity.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a very big gap in the market, because if he's working on my company, I can confirm whether he's worked or not. I cannot, the no company will come and ask whether how very good he is in that work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is a
Got
big
it.
gap.
So
Yeah.
that is a challenge. So the challenge, I think, let me rephrase the question. So he is, he's into hiring business,
Yes.
recruitment business, and
Okay.
he hires people, who might be experienced, who have done this job before. They say a lot of good things when they join, but when it comes to the execution and delivering results, they fall short, and he does not know what to do about it. So, yeah, let's start talking about it. Salma, you have any thoughts about it?
Yeah, Kashyap, thank you so much. And Mahesh, sorry, I'm not putting on my camera. Maybe next time I will. So let me just quickly tell you this. People is like crops, okay? Let's be very simple here. People is like crops. And when you have to grow crops, which will grow, and be ready for harvest and gain from that harvest, produce, what do you do first? You make a fertile soil. And you're forgetting one part here. It's just not, the challenge is not just hiring top talent and retaining talent. There is one step you're forgetting, and that is identification of right talent. Most often, companies don't even know what they're looking out for when they start looking to recruit. So, first, you should know how to identify the right talent, then hire them, and then retain them. But for these three steps, you have to have a fertile ground to grow these crops. And in that means, what I mean is creating an environment, a culture in your small setup. Even if, this term I really hate, Kashyap. When people come and say, we are just a startup, we are just starting out, we are a small firm. Yeah, business is business, yeah. You are two people business or 200 people business, it's business. So, when you start out, the culture that you set in your company, even if it is two people, is very important. How are you making a space for people to come and look at you? And what is this culture? This culture is, how do you put your communication out there as a company, as a young company? What is your website speaking? What is as a founder of that company, your LinkedIn say about your values? Why should somebody look at your LinkedIn or your website and say, I want to join there? And if they join there, why should they stay there? What makes them, like when you hire people, when you said, Mahesh, with due respect, that when you said that you give them a chance to explore and see for 3 months, no, what are you doing there is already telling them, hey, you know what, come look at me for 3 months, look at the setup, and then go when you need. You are setting that expectation in their mind. But when you talk to them and recruit them and say, you know what, this place is for great leaders, this place is for people who are passionate about growing their profession, and only then join. And you do that culture with such passion that they are not joining your company, they are joining your dream. So, the
Yeah.
most biggest important thing for you, takeaway, Mahesh, for everyone here is recruitment is not a challenge if you make a space that is worth fighting for to work in, and
Yeah.
that's in your hands. That's all
Fantastic.
I would like to say. Add it, you can add on, Kashyap.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think there are three main aspects, Mahesh. I think what I understand is, people are good liars, right? Like, because people have been to all interviews and they know what exactly they want to say, and they know how to get into the
Yeah.
company. And then since you are in the recruitment business, they are also recruiters.
I know
They know
that.
what to say, and that's the problem here also, right? Now, so what three things that you must have in your system is, one is, I think you must have a like what to do. You have to have, you must have clarity about what is the task, how it is done. That means you must have done this task yourself, and you must have recorded the outcome. That means how long does it take and what is the expected. You must have created a best case scenario. You must create that best case scenario. I hope that is there, number one. And then time it requires, and then the expected number of outcomes you are looking for. That must be recorded. And as part of the hiring itself, you must have these integrated and test them on these parameters before you actually hire them also. So that you know that they can speak well, they can deliver well, let them convert also one or two, no problem. Okay. So that is a test task part must be given. That is one part. And the third thing is you must have a continuous you must have a pressure of performance. That means you must have a backup always. The biggest problem in business is having lack of backups. Problem is when someone leaves, we are like in a shock and look for a replacement. Correct. That is like that creates a lot of shock for a lot of places, because the operations are going down and you are under pressure. You'll in that under in a desperate situation, you'll hire the wrong people because someone must come. So a lot of that mistake happens. So that means the solution for that is you must have a backup who is already waiting in wings to take up the role. That is good for two reasons. One, this backup is waiting to take up the job. That is good always. That creates peace of mind for you. Number one. Number two, the person is who is running the seat right now. He will always be under performance. He knows. And in our system, we have always a backup. We hire and keep them in the backup. And that person is always waiting to take over the job. I say, please wait. I'm going to hire you. Wait. And we bring these backups to our meetings also. We keep them warm. We keep them ready anytime to take up. What that creates is performance. That creates pressure because everyone knows that everyone is replaceable. And I go with people who deliver. And if people don't deliver, they know the reasons because the numbers speak for themselves. Okay, I gave the same task to this person. He delivered so many numbers. You did this number of numbers. That does not mean that we fire people. We have never fired people. Okay, that means that what is that thing that needs to improve, be it in the communication, we focus on the improvement of the behavior side of it, the skill part of it, whatever it is, and we keep training ourselves to make sure the pressure is there. And of course, because as a growing organization, we always need more resources.
Yes.
So that creates that kind of a good vibe of performance. If you don't have the backup, it creates a lot of underperformance and these lazy people sticking around who spoil the culture. Everything will happen. Okay. So anyone else who want to add to what I said? Richard, you're here. Richard, you want to talk about this? Richard?
Sorry, I just logged in, so
Yeah.
not aware of the subject.
The question is, he is into recruitment business and he hires some employees who are very enthusiastic when they join, but when it comes to performance, they don't perform. They are experienced people. They come, they say, I'll do it, but after they join the organization, they don't perform.
Incentivize.
Details?
Basically, you reward for performing. So, for example, in recruiting, if he has set a target for, hiring or engaging so many clients for so many, his job is to find potential candidates for his customer, right? So if he's able to place them, then he gets his target achieved. So basically incentivize for every placement, or if set a target and incentivize, because they're not going to perform only on the base salary. Basic salary plus incentive is what works out with every industry.
Yeah. Clarity of communication on performance.
Yes.
Keep it clear that how they can make more money with you.
Yeah, sure.
Got it?
Yeah.
Anyone else want to add a point or two about this? Okay, so let's go to the next question. Bhaskar Reddy, are you ready?
Hi, I'm sorry I was late for the for the meeting. I don't know first few minutes how it went on, but however, I've been into agri-commodity business. We are exporters of agri-commodities, preferably spices to European and US clients. So I also have a construction business that is limited to domestic market, and we have been working with corporates that way. The thing is that I have taken a shift of construction domestic to exports of agri-commodities. So I've been indulging in almost 15 years in agriculture, and I do farming at my farm place. So when it comes to I totally agree with Madam Salma's points. She drafted very well. So I feel that while recruiting, you may have to consider how important one's job is. So how badly is it need of? So it totally works on the need crisis. That's what I think so. So I've been successful in some areas when it comes to construction. So when there is a need call, so they stick on to the to the position that way. That's what I think.
What is your question? What is your question, Bhaskar? Do you have a question?
It's not the question. I was answering to your.
Got it. Sorry. I think the question was for Mahesh. Mahesh, you are ready, Mahesh?
No, not Mahesh. Bhaskar only, but the Bhaskar is just adding on to that point, Mahesh's point.
Yes. Sorry. So I'm kind of messing up the question order here.
No. It happens.
Yeah. And so Kalahan, next we'll go to Kalahan. Okay, Kalahan.
Just 1 minute.
No. My question was I'll start with my question. See.
Yeah. Please.
At this current moment, right? So it's been almost for about 4-5 months. I've been into this agri-commodity exports. So at this phase, I've been multitasking just to to cut down the overall cost or initial burns that way. So I've been figuring out. I've been making calls and doing sales activities, marketing my social media activities and pre-sales and a lot of activities that way. So and at this position, this has been a new sector for me, and I'm just finding difficult to scale myself to to delegate specific powers to each and everyone, at least 1 or 2 resources here.
Yeah. So can you tell me about your team, Bhaskar, right now? Like you have a second line of people who are working under you?
Yeah, only one below me. The thing is that he was into construction, and I have pulled him, since because I trust him that way. So I'm just planning to invest some, with 1 or 2 or 3 months, and so that understanding our kind of business process is not that difficult. That's what I believe in. So am I right that way? I'm still not sure. But the salary what I'm paying him, it's almost 1.5x of the industry as of now. I've been paying more to him just because he's a trustworthy and really can make more for me.
Got it. So guys, you got the question, right? So I'm going to repeat. So Bhaskar is into multiple businesses, construction and agriculture,
commodity exports,
and exports. So he does a lot of things, and he does his own calls, sales, marketing. He does a lot of things, and he has one person who is supporting him in his business. And he's of course he's multitasking. It's very clear. And you said you are scared of scaling, or you don't know how to scale?
Yeah, that's what I'm just at this moment. I'm just feeling that because I want someone to be placed on my social media activities, but even if I place that, still I'll be underutilizing him or he or she that way. So if I have to outsource it, I know the volume of the work they do. It doesn't match the amount that they ask for, and that way.
So basically, you don't know how to allocate work to other people.
Yeah, actually. That way, because I'm just stuck in that position right now.
Got it. So when you hire, maybe the question is like this: that I can hire, but when they hire, what would they do? I don't know what to allocate to them. And when I outsource, I don't know if they are
See,
overcharging.
outsourcing would be more expensive than I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
And if I hire my resource here, I'll be underutilizing them. So I'm
Yes.
just in a state of confusion. How do you place,
Yes.
how do you position them that way?
Got it. So guys, Salma and other people.
Can I go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please, madam.
Okay. So, Bhaskar, see, at this point of time, whatever I might be saying at a very top level, because see, all these things require a little bit more deep dive conversation, right? But having said that, what I've understood, this is not one problem, it's two challenges for you. One is the multitasking part, and two is the scaling part. So usually when you're in this situation, my advice, my suggestion, after 37,000 hours of mentoring with business leaders, this is what I would say. Take a few steps back here. Cut this into two different challenges. Multitasking is a challenge that you'll have to slowly start, as Kashyap rightly put a little bit ahead. Pen down, put SOPs, see what can be delegated, what cannot be, what should be given to junior level, low cost resources, what should be handled at what stage. That's a different double click which you have to do. Now, scaling ke liye, I'll tell you this one thing, and 99.9% entrepreneurs do this mistake. And I'll give you this again, another perspective example. Singapore got independence much after India. But today, the way they are developed, the way they have scaled, the way they have positioned themselves as a nation is way ahead of India. And why was it possible? Because even before they started, they knew what they wanted to become. And for that, the same applies for businesses. When business want to scale, my first question to them is, what do you want to become? Do you want to scale in market? Do you want to scale in team size? Do you want to scale in profitability? Do you want to scale in revenue generation? Scale in what? It cannot be overall, because every scale has a different strategy and approach. So once you know the what, then you ask the why. Why do you want to scale? Because when you say the why, then you'll know, do you want to clear your multitasking and put your efforts on scaling? Or do you want to outsource it? Or do you want to hire someone? Do you want to invest? The why will answer that. And then come to the how. And the how part will help you to put small but important action points in simple thing, right? Say next 3 months you want to scale your profitability to maybe by another 30%. Now, if that's the case, you will put 3 actions. Very simple. Saying, "Okay, I'll hire 2 small salespeople who will report to me directly. I will streamline operations, who will reduce expenditure, and I will scale my profitability to that level." So that way you'll get clarity on the how. But first address the what and why. At this point, this is what I would say. Open for more further offline conversations, but all the very best to you. I can see that there's experience behind you when you're handling so many businesses. A small handful of information, I'm sure you'll go a long way to work it out. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Salman. Thank you very much.
What about Richard? Your take on this, Richard?
See, I believe his right hand man also is doing the same job as the boss. So from what I hear, so if the person was developed in real estate, let him handle the real estate portfolio so that he can be, at least he can focus his mind on the commodity business. Otherwise, even if the deputy is also going to be putting his fingers in both areas, then again it's the same confusion. He's doing some job here, some job there, and all that.
No.
Okay.
He's been relieved from that business. He's no more working in that construction.
He's not in real estate anymore.
No. He's not in construction as well.
Okay, but you developed him for real estate, right?
No, we're not doing real estate at all. First of all, we are
no construction.
Yeah.
That's construction, yeah.
Yes.
For construction, no, because you're already with vast experience in the construction, and I think you would have some people at least in that area so that you don't have to put your head there.
Correct.
The commodities, yes, it's a new task. A lot of hands-on approach will be required. Uh, but yes, for now, you need to burn some cash because you cannot handle everything. You need to outsource some of your smaller activities like your social media and all that.
True,
Because
true.
all
That's
that,
what even Selma madam also tried saying, I believe. You're very
correct.
straight in that, right?
Because even if you engage a lower level employee, you still be on their head to get this done. You have to tell them what to do, how to do. They might not be at par with your expectation. So it is going to be again a job on you only. So it is better to small things like your media and marketing and all that, outsource it off. Just focus on your getting customer base. So probably you'll have to go around with this trade fairs and all that, no, which you will have to go. You have that
Yes.
reimbursement from the government of India. So engage in all those things so that whatever money you're spending, you might get reimbursed back by government of India for your trade fair visits and all that. So those kind of things you engage with the agri department for export, no, APEDA.
Yes.
So you go with APEDA. They have a lot of schemes for exporters where they reimburse your travel and all your expenses and all that. So that would be your main focus area rather than small things like all this media marketing and all that. You can always outsource it. I think that is a better option. Maybe you'll burn some cash for first 1 year, but no other go.
Okay, thank you, Richard.
Thank you very much, sir. It was great takeaway.
Okay, anyone else want to add to the question? Anyone else want to add? Okay, so let me give my 2 cents. Bhaskar, I think number one is why entrepreneurs multitask. When I say multitask, I think you're doing multi-business, right? Multi-business. I think the idea could be that classic entrepreneurial bug of this shiny object syndrome. That means, oh, I see opportunity there, let me go there. I see opportunity like that. It's like the teenagers. No? Teenagers get excited about everyone, right? They get they have crushes everywhere everywhere in college, correct? So that is a classic bug for an entrepreneur as well. So the step number one would be about focusing on those businesses which have a potential of scaling, and that only you can know from the numbers it generates. If some business is depending on referral, that is not a good business that can scale, because referrals are not predictable. That means you cannot predictably scale your business, number one. So you, out of all those things, I would stop. I mean, I know stopping is a big word, but I would scale myself back and focus my energy, because we have limited number of number of hours we have on this planet is less. Given that enough, we have limited energy, you will focus on what is that one business that I know for a fact has massive potential, and I can invest my time. Number one, because your time is your biggest resource you have. Because if you invest time, time will create revenue, revenue creates value, value creates employees, etc. That happens around it. So step number one, I would do if I was you, is focus on one business which is going to scale. And once this engine is working, using this momentum, I can start a second spin. The second spin is working. The base must be working well. Okay. And then the second spins, and then the third I can integrate. But if imagine this, right? Like if I'm spinning this and I leave it, I come and spin this, and I come and spin this. Oh, this is going slow. I'll come back here. That means master of all, jack of all trades, but master of none. Correct. That's the first aspect of it. So you focus on one spinning wheel. Focus on one spinning wheel to make sure that it picks up the speed. Because with that speed and with that momentum, we can bring in other business which can also take up that momentum. So first,
No, Kashyap, I know where you come from. The
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is that,
Mm-hmm.
for a better understanding, I've been in this construction for more than 14, 15 years down the line for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've been not able to scale because of the cash flow. So there's always a cash flow in the whole industry. and we're in the government as well as in private and both that way. Okay, so I just don't want to scale myself. Okay, but driving in more funds and that way. So at the same time, the turnaround time and because it's not real estate, it's construction. So turnaround time and the paybacks at the end of the day and the ROI is not sincerely matching the expectations that I really look at it. And eventually my expectations are not that high as well, but however, it's not working that perfectly. So what I think that I just doesn't want to exit for only keeping this as a reason. It's been a passion that I've been working on this for since 15 years. So I'm generating a lot of experience and a lot many things. Okay, so and whatever I've earned out of this, I've converted into real estate, and that is fetching and more money out of as of now. That is as an investment. Okay, as a business, construction, it's not working to the mark. So I'm now not going to scale it anyway.
So which business, if you had to pick one business, which is predictability, the keyword here is predictability. There is some sort of a predictability in that business. What is that business?
Come again?
Which business has a predictable input and a predictable output? Which business is that? Because that is a business which can scale.
See, this exports, why I picked up Essence, because we are, like I said, that have generated a lot of profits because of the land that I bought. Okay, so having kept it, keeping it, without doing anything, we have been doing a lot of farming activities out there. So that's been a long journey, almost 15 years, almost 13, 14 years. Agriculture has been very good for me now. Okay. So what I was thinking is we used to do that, sell some products domestically. Then after for 1.5 years, I studied the whole export market and understanding, and I've done a lot of registrations with Spice Board, APEDA, and many things like that. So understanding of all of these, I understood that we can scale up very well in this.
Yeah, then that is the focus you must have, Bhaskar.
Yeah.
Now you need to prioritize, you need to put your energies because you have limited energy. You need to put that number one priority. Number one priority is, okay, that is going to be my scale up zone. Let me put my energies because that is also going to generate a lot much more cash. Maybe that is where your expertise is also. That's where the new opportunity is also. And
just finish up.
Yeah.
So my focus is just on 20% on the construction and 80% is on my agri-commodity business. Okay, so 20% is just on automotive. So don't have to hustle behind anything on that. So there are established few clients. We're not scaling up. So we have a regular. We don't have to market anymore. So we have frequent businesses coming from there. So and that's going on that way. My whole focus is almost 80% focus is only on these now. So yeah, now we can continue so that I have given you much more clarity on this.
Got it. So I think the steps are going to be focus, and also you need to start documenting what all you're doing as tasks. Okay. The biggest challenge, the biggest barrier between hiring versus, because typically for a solopreneur, they don't know why they cannot hire someone, or they don't know how to hire someone. They don't know how to outsource their tasks, is because they don't know how to put that thing in the heart on their heads into paper. They don't know how to do that part. The transition of, what all I do, I put it down. They don't know that transition part, because as long as you don't know how to transfer that and teach to someone else, you cannot create work packages for an employee to come, because if you don't know the art of creating work packages for an employee, then you will always have a challenge about what should I give to them. Correct. So that is what, as a skill, you must figure out. Or if you want our help, you can take our help. We can probably have a one-to-one consulting, and we can look at how we can help you to create. And we have a program called Growth Accelerator Program, where we actually teach people about how do you build a business step by step with exit in mind. How do you hire? All these topics are clearly defined in that process. And also we plan to do it online as well. So you can also attend our online workshop as well. So one day or 2 days program we do. Okay, that's one of the things. Okay, anyone else want to add? Because I know we'll take up one more question and then we'll go to the other one. And if you want to talk to Salma has left her details in the chat box. So you can also talk to her as well. Okay, so anyone else want to add to the question of this, and we go to the next question.
Thank you very much for input. Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so Kalahan, ready? Come to the video. So why don't you quickly reintroduce yourself because people may not know you and talk about the challenge you're facing, and then rest of us can give insights.
So before I want to speak, I say thanks to Richard and Kashyap. This is not my first meet. I am regularly connecting with this meet, and I want to tell about my business. My business is into hyperlocal e-commerce fashion. Customers can order their clothes in online and can deliver within 30 minutes at the doorstep. So my question is, like it's about all about executing in the right way. So currently we are two people and we build the website and we're about to launch that. I want to know the right approach to execute this. When to start marketing and what is the right approach to hire the people. When should I register the company, and when can I connect with the vendors? I want a clear plan of like structuring in proper manner. That's it.
Okay, maybe Richard, you have a prior knowledge you want to.
Yeah. Sorry. What you have to do is, see, before you have to first incorporate your company, whether it's an LLP or LLC, whatever it is, because your partnership, I think you have two of you are there, right? Two founders. So go for an LLC, and then if you are doing this marketplace, you need to have a GST registration for marketplace. There's a separate GST registration for marketplace where you deduct the GST and pay it on behalf of the seller. Okay, that was there for food segment. It's there for restaurant. For clothing, you just check whether it is applicable there also. That is one thing. And in your case, don't think about app for customer, because customer is not going to download the app. But if you do have a website, go ahead and launch with the website, and make sure you have a integration with Shiprocket for your delivery, and your seller panel also is ready, because seller needs to get notified for every order he receives. He must also have an SMS integrated to your website. So any order you receive, the seller also gets a notification of the order. So this is the things. Of course, first you need your company incorporation, then you need your GST incorporation. Then you have a website ready, which is all simultaneous. These are all like 1 or 2 days work only, not a major thing. Then once your website is ready, go ahead and start talking to sellers, each area, wherever. You can go anywhere in Bangalore, pick up anybody on the street who is selling, who has a shop, clothing apparel store. You approach them, show your website, engage them, show their seller panel, how it will look. Before you go there, you upload some, at least 2-3, at least a couple of maybe 50-60 products, because nobody will come first. Nobody will want to be the first person to be on the platform. So you create some 5-6 profiles before you approach anybody. Make sure you have some at least 50-60 products in every category. They may be dummy for now, but to the seller it matters, because if he sees somebody else there, then he will also want to be on part of it. Okay, so that is one thing. I don't want to be the first person on a platform, but if I see somebody else is there on the platform, then I'll also be like, okay, if he's there, then I also want to be there. It's that simple. It's a herd mentality. So if somebody is there, I'll also be there, like that. So that you have to upload before you approach the sellers. And as far as sellers are concerned, you just need to showcase your website and demo them how the order will receive, how they receive the order, and how they have to execute the order. So execution of order, again, you have, if you have Shiprocket integrated along to your website, then that also you need to work it out. But first, you get your website streamlined first, because everything depends on your website running smoothly. If you have any hitches, no, that you should check it out now itself before you approach the sellers. So this is the first flow. After you have maybe 30, 40, or maybe more than 50, 60 sellers, then you go for the market, customer acquisition. Till that time, don't worry about customer acquisition. Focus only on onboarding sellers, because that is the most important thing. You should have at least a couple of thousand products before you launch your website. That is my advice to you.
So, yeah.
So what about marketing?
Kashyap, one minute, Kalyan. Kashyap, can I take this also?
Yeah, please go.
Yeah. So one is so this is my perspective. Richard, I heard you, and I just want to say to Kalhan that, see, you would get multiple suggestions, different perspectives. It's all our own different experiences. So please take everything and run with what you find the most suitable and comfortable, because we've all had our different journeys, right, and different experiences. So please make note. I'm just answering very to the point. I want to hire skilled people at the low cost. The answer to that is, the only way you can hire skilled people at low cost is reach out to potential interns, go to internshala, put for short term interns, focus on skills that you are looking for rather than experience. And that's where you can hire skilled people in lesser cost. Okay. Now, Internshala works. I have worked with many businesses, even established businesses. We get brilliant, talented people there, especially people who have not been recruited due to no job opportunities, come in as interns at a very low cost. So, it's a tested and tried approach. Please do that. Internshala.com. When should I register my company and launch my product? This is a more deep question, but I'll try to be very specific, Kalan. This is a post-pandemic world that you live in. In post-pandemic world, you should look at more outcomes and end objective, than rather than going with a traditional business plan approach. So what I would suggest is that you do not go for registering a company right now. You are at an MVP stage. Please remember, minimum viable product is what you are doing right now. So try your MVP at a low cost or zero cost approach. That is, there is a Facebook application called Marketplace. Please go ahead and use that. Create an official marketplace space with your brand name and select some vendors. As Richard said, sellers are the key here to bring about your relationship with sellers. Have their products put in your official Facebook marketplace and start marketing that page. Now, marketing, your next question, what is the right time to start marketing? There are three phases of marketing which happens. One is pre-launch, that is called a market research slash marketing. You're marketing, but you're trying to get more market understanding. Second phase is launch marketing, where at that time you're not looking for big masses, you're looking for quality clients or quality buyers who will come and give you valuable inputs to improvise your product. And then the third phase of marketing is accelerating marketing. That is, acceleration is purely increasing your customers. So you are at a pre-launch marketing phase. That is where you will start talking to potential buyers, potential sellers, bring them on your marketplace, put yourself out in the market, become the product. Today, you are the product of your business, not a product. Because the way you're able to talk about your business, the way you're able to convince sellers, the way you're going to bring people's interest is what is going to give you the experience to go about and register a company and do everything of the jargon of the startup. Please do not call yourself as an early stage startup. You are pre-startup stage. You are at an MVP stage. Okay. And the last part is, what is the process of launching? It is the process that you will design. the process, there is no preset uniform process. It is what you as an entrepreneur will decide how you want to launch: soft launch, launch and post launch, or just one launch, or an online launch and an offline launch. You decide the formula. How do you decide that? A little bit more deeper conversation is needed on that. When should I connect with vendors? You should have connected with vendors yesterday. You should have connected with vendors when you started thinking of this idea. You should connect with vendors every day, because vendors will give you more better understanding of what they need from you. Please understand, you're not the first one to start this, but you should definitely be the best one to start this. So only the best can give you the possible growth in your business, because you're not going to be one another regular platform which will end up making you become one of the crowd. Now is the time where you can become unique. Unique is what you're going to become great. When Apple launched their product iPhone, and smartphones were not new, Android already existed, but they innovated in a different manner, the experience. So you have to aim to become the best, not one of the many out there. And the best can happen when you put yourself, see yourself as a product, and go out there and start engaging, talking, making notes, creating your blueprint in such a way, and using that market space on Facebook free of cost to ensure to see what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, before you start putting even 1 rupee on the table for a company or a brand or a website or anything. I again tell you, we've all come from different experiences. I'm coming from an experience of my own. Richard's coming from his. Kashyap is coming from his. In the end, the reason an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur, because he'll take 100 of advice, but run with what he thinks is right for his business. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you so very much.
Okay, fantastic, right? Like, oh my God, Richard and Salma like smashed it. Sixer, you know.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, Salma is as I said at the beginning, if you have not been here, Salma she's one of the pillars of startup world, and I know her for a long time. And she was doing once upon a time the work government was supposed to do, like bringing these startups, creating these stocks. She used to do big events, okay, like massive events she used to do. And that's when I was one of the participants in those events, and that's how I know her. Okay, so if you want to get connections, if you want to learn, she is an amazing person. Okay, so don't miss the opportunity. Okay, so anyone?
Appreciate.
Yeah.
So thank you,
So,
Salma.
Thank you.
so anyone else who want to ask a question before we end the call? I know it's already late. Anyone last questions, because Salma may be rare, but she may not come back again.
No, I think on the contrary, I will come back. And Kashyap, please add me back into the group, because I didn't see how I was adding value. I kind of stepped out. I disagree with that. I was wrong. Please add in. I think there's a lot that can be shared and value added. I'm here with you for any of your journey. I told you when I met you also, but I'll tell you now again. Even more so now after joining this, you can count me in almost every event of this. In fact, you can tell me what more I can do. I'm here for you and this community.
Perfect. It's a privilege to have you here, Salma. And I think, of course, people are already appreciating you. Salma, you're fabulous. Great time input given by madam, and thank you so much. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end the